Hi, here's what you need to get started on nature journaling on the field trip. First, you should have a clipboard and you should attach one of the phenology wheels to it. In addition, you should have a pencil, an eraser, colored pencils, and optionally, if you choose, watercolor set, some water, and a brush. Your goal will be to sketch the phases of the cherry tree from budding to flowering to fruiting. These are outlined on the two-page Cherry Tree Phenophase Guide. Download this on your phone or print it out for easy reference. Also, print out at least one of the phenology wheel templates for sketching. The number of wedges corresponds to the number of sketches that you expect your child to complete. The options are 1, 4, 6, or 8 wedges. Now, gear the number of wedges to your child's ability level, both in terms of attention span and fine motor skill. Obviously, the more wedges you have, the smaller the space is to sketch. Now, ideally, each sketch will represent a different phenophase, but your child may be able to sketch multiple phenophases on one visit because one cherry tree may be in multiple points in its blooming cycle. So overall, plan on making several visits in order to capture the full flowering cycle. Now, during the field trip, I suggest you take photos of any parts that you choose to sketch. Start at 12 o'clock on the phenology wheel and proceed clockwise. Label what phase you are drawing and the date in that outer ring. Sketch using a pencil first. Use this example to get an idea of what to do. Now, each child obviously will be at a different level of ability. If time allows, color in the sketches with colored pencils. But you can also just do this at home if you're pressed for time. And now, if it's a really nice day and time and interest allows, you can also allow your learners to watercolor. It's a really fun thing to do in the spring. So that's the basics of what you'll do on each visit. Now let's go through the different phenophases of a cherry tree so you will know specifically what you are drawing. Do keep in mind that different species of cherry trees don't look exactly the same as what you'll see in these photos. And also remember that any given tree may be displaying multiple phases at the same time. Dormant buds. This is the winter phase. You can see the scales on the buds, and they are often in clusters. Swelling buds. As winter transitions to spring, the cherry tree exits dormancy and the buds begin to swell. This phase marks the initiation of new growth. Be aware that some of the buds will produce flowers while others will produce leaves. Flower bud burst. The buds continue to develop and eventually burst open. This is when you start seeing color if the bud is producing flowers. Notice in this photo that you have some buds that are just bursting and others that are already completely opened up into flowering. Also notice that some of the early flowers appear pink, but when fully open, they are white. Unfolding leaves. When leafing buds burst, you will see the unfurling of new leaves. They may appear reddish at first. Green leaves. The fully developed leaves are larger and green. Blooming flowers. The tree produces clusters of flowers. This marks the reproductive phase of the cherry tree cycle. Cherry trees will have a profusion of blossoms with distinct colors and shapes. And as you can see, the blossoms on these two cherry trees are quite different. One is a wild black cherry tree. The other is an ornamental cherry. Wilting flowers. At the end of the flowering period, the petals will be ready to fall off the tree. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can catch them falling on a windy day, or they may just wilt and drop. Unripe fruit. After successful pollination by an insect like a bee, the female part of the flower will have been fertilized. These fertilized flowers will develop small fruits to enclose their seeds. Initially, they may be green and firm. Ripe fruit. Fruit undergoes maturation, changing color and texture as it becomes ripe. Cherry fruit is either red or purple, and it will become softer and plumper. This tree is an ornamental tree, not a fruit tree, so the cherries are much smaller than the ones we would eat from cherry fruit trees. So now you have all that you need to go out to a cherry tree, identify its phenophase, and sketch it. Have a great time.